Hey, what's up, Rattlers? You know, there is a lot of confusion over the blood python complex. Are they short-tail complex? Are they blood python complex? So to answer that question, I stopped by Matt Minetola's place here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and he's going to shed some light on what makes Borneo short-tails different from blood pythons and what makes them unique.
I'm Dāv Kaufman, and I tour the world to see how reptiles are living in the wild. And while I'm at it, checking out some of the most amazing facilities and reptile expos as well. It's all about learning, appreciation, and conservation. So come with me and join my reptile adventures.
At Rainbow Mealworms, we grow all our insects 100% naturally so that you get the freshest, most lively feeders on the market. So for all your reptile food needs, place your order today at rainbowmealworms.net.
All right, so this is Matt Minetola. This is a incredible herp room. You have eggs hatching over here. All right, so let's just dig in and start wherever.
Okay, well, if we want to go through the three species, we'll go to Sumatrans first.
Sumatrans, great.
Sumatran shorttails, because it's what I have the least of. So that would be a Sumatran shorttail python curtis. What a lot of people don't realize about the shorttail complex is there's three different species. There's Python brongersmai, which is red blood, Python brettonsteini, which is Borneo shorttail, and then Python curtis, which is the one we were just looking at.
Right, so a lot of people mistake all three of them for just being blood pythons.
Blood pythons, and they used to be a subspecies, and people still to this day swear they're a subspecies.
Right, right.
So, with the three species, a lot of people seem to want to call Borneo's shorttail pythons Borneo bloods. It's not correct. It's very confusing, and the people that are very involved in shorttails are trying to cut that out. And the same thing with Sumatran shorttails. A lot of people still refer to them as black bloods. Most of us know what they are, but the correct term would be Sumatran shorttails. So we're really trying to cut all that out so it's a lot less confusing for the general public getting into it, because I understand the difference, how hard it can be to tell the difference of the three.
Right, absolutely.
The size varies a little bit between the three species. Red bloods lay bigger eggs of smaller numbers, Borneos lay smaller eggs of larger numbers, and the Sumatran shorttails lay smaller eggs of larger numbers, even smaller than the Borneos do.
All right, so these are the adults, but look at the babies. Those babies have a lot of different shades on them. How old is this baby?
This is a 2018. I didn't hatch this, but yeah, this should transition into a very dark animal, just as the one you've seen. I guess we'll go to red bloods now. That would be the most popular, but not my favorite.
Gotcha, okay.
I love them, but it's not my favorite of the three.
Sure.
Okay.
Not my favorite. Not my favorite, but I have 150 of them.
Yeah, it's everybody else's favorite. So I'll start with some smaller stuff. We'll go to this one.
Oh, see, how can that not be your favorite?
Well, when you see Borneos, you'll understand.
Yeah, that's true.
So the stripes are genetic variants. There's a lot of different stripe lines. This one happens to be a pro-exotic VPI stripe line mixed. The stripe lines are compatible for the most part that we know. There's some new stripe lines we're not sure about yet, but a lot of the older school stripe lines are compatible. So basically they start out a little bit of a weak stripe. You breed two stripes together, you start making more and more stripes that look like this, and even crazier, wider stripes all the way down, full stripes.
Right, and that's the beauty of selective breeding.
Yes. So now we're jumping into more of the red mutations. So right here would be a golden eye red blood. This is an incomplete dominant, so the super form of this is what's called the magpie, which is basically almost an all-white snake with the black dots that people are starting to go crazy for. So basically you're going to get, it takes all the pattern and makes it almost all white, and it gets a little bit of black dots around here, maybe around the body some, and then starts to transition into like a pinkish salmon as it gets older.
Nice.
So you can see some of the salmon colors in there, and that's kind of what the end result of a magpie looks like. I wish I had one to show you.
I was just going to ask if you had one.
I don't, no. I thought I was going to hatch some this year, and I missed.
Oh.
Yeah. I can show you something that's very close to this. It looks sort of like a magpie. I'll bring it out. But it's a 007, it's called. And it is a golden eye red blood to a matrix red blood, and it makes it a little more patternless. And the matrix is the incomplete form of the ivory blood. So Tracy Barker is the one who worked on the golden eyes and got them in and was able to produce magpies and figure out the 007s and work everything into these.
All right, now why is this called the 007?
Tracy.
Tracy, all right. Fair enough.
GoldenEye 007.
There you go. Yeah. There you go.
With the James Bond theme.
If I only had, more than a half a cup of coffee this morning, I would have been able to figure that out. Oh, that is a gorgeous snake.
Yeah, and the GoldenEye seem to be, for the most part, pretty tame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all the blood python groups, they have a reputation of being springs with teeth.
Yes, not all the time, and they have very individual personalities. It really depends. Like a weekend like this weekend, I had a lot of people over, so some of my nicest snakes were very much on edge. But if I'm just down here or my kids are down here, it's a lot easier to open up tubs and just sit and fine. Right,
and we've also bred that wild trait out of them for the most part, anyway.
This is a T-negative albino red blood python.
Whoa! Oh my God! This might be one of my favorite red morphs.
The T-neg is definitely a fan favorite. A lot of people are jumping on them, but T-positive is still reigning supreme.
Right.
Still because T-positive has been around for so long, they've been working with them so much, and there's so many different lines. I go back and forth. I think I like T-positives a little more, but I mean, it's hard not to like a T-negative.
That is true.
So this is a Lily T-positive albino blood python, and this would be a Lily red blood python het albino.
So albino, het albino.
Yes. And the Lily gene brings in a lot of this black chain linking. They're usually very red. They usually get red heads. And what it does to the albino is makes it obviously more red and gets it a lot more of the lavender in the back. Gets at the chain linking with lavender. So this is a Pixel blood python. So the Pixel is a GoldenEye bred to a Batik, and then you get the Pixel blood. This next snake is a Batrix, which is a Batik matrix, but close to it. Now, he's not usually too happy. So the Batik gene on its own is an incomplete dominant, and the Batik gene, the superform, makes a Super Batik, which is a patternless, pretty much khaki snake. The problem with the Batik gene is we've noticed small eyes and some tail kinks in it for the Super Batik.
Gotcha.
So most people run off the Batik gene, and this is mixed with Matrix, which is that super form of the ivory, and it makes it a lot more speckled, gives it a lot more of a busy pattern. Yeah, the super form works like kind of like the zebra gene. It even is similar to it, and when you make a super, it's a crapshoot if you're going to get a good one. So this is a VPI stripe possible het hypo, which the hypo gene in red bloods works really weird. This could actually be hypo from what I'm told, and it's also a possible het albino. This was not produced by me, but I used him this year to make more babies with the VPI stripe line, and I'm expecting some real wild stuff, especially if albino hits on both of them.
So talk a little bit more about the hypo gene and why it's so weird in blood pythons.
It just doesn't seem to work like other genes where it's recessive or anything like that. It seems to be kind of a random occurrence. I don't think we quite nailed that down yet. Tracy would be the best person to ask about it. She probably has a lot more information.
Yeah.
But it's just not cut and dry.
Gotcha.
It's very difficult.
All right, so let's move on to the Borneo shorttails.
Okay, we'll start bigger.
Go big or go home.
So this girl,
look at that,
is what I consider a low-level white wall oscillate, which is kind of my own gene, but it all comes out of super stripe and genetic stripe genetics. She's still recovering after laying a clutch. Her eggs are due to hatch probably in a few weeks.
In a few weeks, good.
Yes, so. But this is a Borneo short-tail python, Python Breitensteini. Now, Borneo short-tail genetics, they don't work like a simple recessive and incomplete dominant. A dominant, they are polygenic and really are a lot of fun to work with. They're all over the place. It's very hard to explain them to people. People get very frustrated when I try to explain to people along with the rest of us. But the best way I can explain it is if you're working with any genetics in Borneos, you're going to have a good time hatching them. You're going to hatch some crazy stuff.
Nice.
Yes. So what we have here now is a white wall, more of a full white wall, not a low expression where that side pattern comes all the way up and it's just very striped. It's a look of the oscillate gene.
Look at
that.
A
lot of pink on the side of the neck, a lot of black speckling. So the oscillate gene is something I worked out in 2012 from some unknown stripe line genetics. I put them together after so long, and in 2012 and out started coming patternless animals and animals like this.
Wow. That is amazingly beautiful.
Yeah, it was definitely a surprise, and I'm excited, and I've taken the project pretty far already, which I hope to continue making a lot more crazy stuff.
Yeah, I hope you do. This is about the size of the average adult, though.
Yeah, this is about the size I like making them. You can get them very big, but this is a good, healthy size, very manageable. There's no reason you need to make them much bigger than this.
Right.
So, yeah, this is a 2016 female.
So she's only 3 years old.
Only 3 years old, yes.
Wow.
So this is a super stripe possible het ocelot. This is basically what other genetic stripes and super stripes kind of look like in this shade of color. This pattern, a VPI line, my ocelot line, some of the ghost line. But this one holds ocelot genetics. And as you can see, I love the orange head. I definitely breed for that. And this animal kind of came out more of a classic look, but it's not as much seen anymore, and I just really dig this animal. I hope to make a lot more like it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Wow, I hope you do.
This is an extreme marble Borneo. It's an 11-year selective breeding project. I've been breeding marbles forever, keeping the best stuff, finding the best stuff, breeding them back together. And in 2015, that came out, and it was very unexpected that I was going to hit that. There was no telling what was going to come of that. For years I've been getting very crazy marbles that have checkered pattern on the back that usually just comes on the side, and out came that one, which was almost fully marbled, and it's kind of what everyone was breeding marbles imagined we could do, and it just took forever to do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it certainly paid off.
Yes, it's everybody's favorite project. It's becoming my favorite project, and it's very high demand right now, but I haven't released any extremes. I've only had 3 or 4 probably, and the lower level stuff I also hold back. So
yeah, of course.
We'll see. So this is a 2017 extreme marble.
I haven't seen a lot of these around.
I'm the only one with them.
That's why I haven't seen a lot of these around.
Yeah. You have to come to Tinley. Well, you are at Tinley.
Yep.
Come to Tinley or here. So this is a blue ghost Borneo short-tailed python. The ghost trait is an original Keith McPeak trait. Within the ghost complex, you can say with this, there are a million different looks. And there's blue ghost, there's crystal glow, leopard ghost, there's super ghost, there's whitetail ghost, there's honey ghost, there's ghost. There's a lot of different looks of ghost that all came from the original pairing and people taking them different ways. So there's just a ton of looks for it, but blue ghost is one of the most desirable looks everybody seems to want nowadays.
Yeah, well, I can see why.
Yeah, and as this gets older, I mean, this is already very blue. This is going to get to be a lot more blue. My buddy Frank Good produced this off of stuff that I produced, and this is one of the bluest babies I've ever seen.
Wow.
So these are all ocelot ghost genes together.
Wow, so these are really variable.
Very variable. They're all siblings, and what I did was I bred a ocelot ghost, which was a very nice ocelot ghost, to a white wall ocelot female, and out came these guys. So they carry a ton of ocelot gene that you can see, and also a lot of ghost gene.
Wow. These are gorgeous. So as most of us know with ball pythons, you give, some people give them a night down cool for a couple of months, and that stimulates breeding. What is the best advice that you can give for breeding blood pythons in this whole complex?
Well, blood, Borneos, and Sumatrans all have the same kind of breeding regimen. They like to be kept cooler than ball pythons. I do an ambient temperature of about 78, 79, come breeding season, 77, 78. They get a small hot spot of about 83, 84. I work more on a light cycle than changing the temperature. So the temperature naturally drops here in the winter because it's Philadelphia.
Sure.
So I don't really have to touch the temperature very much, but they do get the shorter light cycle during the winter months. So all my lights are on a timer, so the lights will go out at about 5:30. Come back on at 7, and then through the summertime they're on 12 hours on, 12 hours off.
So it's light cycles more than temperature that stimulates breeding activity?
At least for me, yes, and I heard a lot of other people that I look up to and learn from, they use the same sort of technique.
Interesting. All right, so I see you have a full incubator, and over here you have some babies already hatched out.
Yes.
I came at a perfect time, which is very rare for me.
So I incubate all my babies on vermiculite, and then once 1 or 2 snakes crawl out, the vermiculite could really dry them out. So I then transfer them over to wet paper towel because I just let them come out of the egg naturally. I don't try to squeeze them out or pull them out. But once one is out, it's like kind of like wake the dead.
Right.
He's knocking everybody out, and he'll chase everybody out. So I don't want to, I don't want them to get all dry.
Gotcha.
So right here we have stuff from an ocelot to ocelot pairing, and they were dark ocelots. So it's surprising to see how bright they came out with pink heads.
Yeah.
So I am really looking forward to a lot of these crawling out. I really hope they come out soon so I can see all of them. But very excited about these looks right here.
Those are awesome snakes.
And then this is also from an ocelot, but to a striped possible head ocelot breeding, and they came out quite a bit different, but very nice.
Yeah. All right, so for everybody watching this and wondering, what's the average price of these?
So the average price for an ocelot is between $1,000 to $2,500 usually, depending on the look of it. And the genetic stripe and super stripe that could possibly hold the gene for it goes between $350 and $800 usually.
Gotcha. So that's pretty affordable.
Yeah. Believe me, I've sold a lot for $300 and $350 where people bring them together and they hit ocelots.
Nice.
So it does prove out. So what we have here is two super striped possible het ocelots bred together, and you got mostly genetic stripes and super stripes, but did hit some white wall ocelots.
Oh.
Which that would be a white wall. Yeah.
That is beautiful.
And then you can see I hit a super stripe.
Oh, look at that. That is insane. How much would that super stripe go for? Friend price.
Off first appearance, this would be one of the higher priced ones. This would be an $800 one.
$800 one.
Yeah.
Wow, very worth it. So what is the average gestation of blood python eggs?
So once they're dropped, the mom has them, I take them out, and I incubate at 88, which most of the boxes inside become 87. And I see stuff hatching anywhere between day 56 to day 62.
So kind of like ball pythons.
Kind of like ball pythons.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the longest 60-day wait of any herper's life.
Yes, it's hard to not just want to cut eggs, but I don't cut eggs anymore. I just kind of wait, and if something does pip, I do start slicing some tops and peeking and letting them crawl out.
So essentially the care and the breeding, except for a couple of variables here and there, it's almost just like ball pythons.
Almost like ball pythons. The thing that's very different about short tails is they do need a little bit bigger space, and they're not as forgiving with husbandry mistakes.
Gotcha.
Yes, and even one that you handle at a show, bought home, it's been nice for 3 years, can just decide to turn around and start having a bad time. And a very angry short-tailed python can be very difficult, especially when you're not experienced.
Yeah, I can imagine. All right, so for people that are looking for people that got into the hobby with ball pythons and now they're looking for something a little bit, beyond ball pythons, what would your advice be for people who are into ball pythons and now looking to get into blood pythons?
I would say that you just have to be on your game. You got to be sharp, and you've got to sort of listen and take into what other experienced people tell you that are into this species. Don't go by your friend that kind of knows about them. You're going to need a lot of help in the beginning because you can run into a lot of problems once you mess up. And then just don't panic, calm down, breathe. There's a lot of people out there that can help you. Yeah, I think people are very capable of taking care of these snakes if they come from the ball python world. Getting your first blood python at a show, if it's your first one, you get a baby. I suggest to get a hatchling or a baby. You always want to start young. Tub size. They like it small and tight. That's what they want. They want their body to be touching all sides. Even if you have them in a small tub, you still want hide boxes. Moss or mulch is great for them. They love burrowing down, and just leave them alone for a while. Give them 2 weeks. They're not for handling for a little while. Just let them settle in, let them take meals, and then you can start bringing them out and handling them.
So I've noticed that you are keeping all your bloods on paper instead of for instance, a cocoa bark product on the market.
Yeah, the paper I like, especially the unprinted paper. You can see anything that could be wrong if they're slobbering, dragging their hemipenes around. It kind of tells the whole story when you open it. I also like the look of it, but I would love to do bedding. Sphagnum moss would be the preferred one. They would love that. I just don't have that much money. It would be a lot of money. And
right.
These animals don't go to the bathroom a lot as they get older. Once they start going to the bathroom, the cocoa chips would float. It would be a lot. There's no spot cleaning with short-tailed pythons. So you're I would constantly be spending how much on blocks of cocoa chips. I would be poor.
Absolutely. So how do you retain the humidity in an enclosure?
The room. My room stays humid, and if I do need more humidity, I have a small humidifier in the room.
Gotcha, gotcha. So you've just basically turned the whole room into what the humidity that they need is.
Pretty much, yeah. My room generally, I mean, it's at 67 right now. It usually stays between 55 and 70. When it comes to short tails, you should steer away from wholesalers no matter how good they are, and I would go breeder direct, no matter what breeder it is, because it's always better to know where they came from and have the breeder be able to help you with where it came from out of their room, their temperatures and everything like that. When you go to a wholesaler, even if they're great, there's a chance they don't know where the animal came from or they care as well as we do. So take the extra 25 or 50 bucks and spend it with a breeder.
So there it is, Rattlers. I hope that this video shed a lot of light on a very confusing topic. So the blood pythons and the short-tailed python group, they are just absolutely amazing and often underrated snakes. So again, I hope this video shed a lot of light on a very confusing topic. So as always, like this video, share this video, hit that subscribe button. When you do, hit that bell so you never miss an upload. Check out our sponsors' links. They're in the description below. And until the next reptile adventure, love the planet, feed your reptile obsession, and rattle on.